This show is sponsored by HiveMind CRM. It is more than just a CRM. It is a real estate and business mastermind that comes with an all-in-one CRM. You can have unlimited websites and users. You can call, text, RVM, and email all in one user interface. And you can set up custom automations for any type and multiple businesses. 65% of companies start using a CRM system within the first 5 years of business. Once implemented, the HiveMind will save you on marketing, give you more time, and make more money. One of our users had his first $100,000 month using our system in June. We want to see you automate and accelerate your business. Text us at 210-972-1842 for future meetings and, of course, to get our $1 course on how to make more than 6 figures on one land deal. You can schedule your free demo today at hivemindcrm.io.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Hive With Us podcast. We have a very special guest on here. He's somebody that's been around the Hive Mind for a long time. He's been doing a lot of damage. He's an influencer in his market, and it's hard to imagine how new this guy is and how much he's absolutely crushing it. I think anybody can learn from him, and just an all-around good Texas guy. Lots to share with you, I'm sure. Let's see what happens on this one. Everybody meet Mr. Chad Dougherty. What's up, man?
What's up, guys? Thanks,
dude. Finally, we had to ask you for like a year, bro. We had to get on your freaking
list to get you to do this for a year. It kept reminding me every week.
It's a year and a half at this point because I've asked Chad to be on the podcast for a year and a half. The podcast hasn't been out that long.
I was one of the first ones he asked, and I was like, It was at the first Hive Mind, the first one.
So if anybody asks Chad to be on his podcast and he responds faster than a year and a half, I'm insulted.
You gotta have patience. You gotta have patience.
If you guys start getting hate mail when we see you on chat on your podcast, if you start getting you're going to start saying, hey, man, what's up, dude? No, man. So, yeah, I'm glad we finally got a chance to get you on. You've been crushing it for a long time, man. As soon as you came around HiveMind, I was really impressed with how fast you grew, how many doors you picked up in a very short amount of time. So let's just get right into it, man. Can you tell us a little bit about your background? You got a military background, and then how'd you find your way into real estate? And thank you for your service, by the way, man. We're big-time supporters.
Thank you. Yeah, man, I got into real estate a little bit over 4 years ago. I'm barely working toward 5 years. When I got out of the Marine Corps, I was in there for only 5 years. I had a wife, 7 months pregnant, got out, tried college, hated it. I started messing around with real estate a little bit, found bigger pockets, and started doing a little bit of wholesaling on the side, did a couple deals, did a presentation in my marketing class. Thought it'd be really cool, right? She said I was lying and that it wasn't realistic. I said, these are the numbers I'm doing right now. So anyways, after that semester, I quit college and been doing this ever since full time. It's been really, really good.
Man, it's crazy what those naysayers will go around saying what isn't true and what's not true.
Yeah.
We laugh all the way to the bank, don't we, Anthony?
Oh, yeah. I get a bunch of that kind of stuff, too, when they're like, hey, man, you guys are never going to sell that for that. I'm like, yeah, we're going to do it. So it's funny when somebody's not living inside of your world, they're looking at it through a different lens.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Yeah, we stopped paying attention to the doubters a long time ago. Like, we just do it ourselves.
Yep. Yeah, it's got to get done.
Yeah. One thing I want to ask is, last time I spoke, you had like 30 doors, and you accumulated that in 4 years. How much is it now?
Really, it's only been like a year. I got most of them. But it's at, I slowed down at the end of this year, so I'm at like 34.
Okay, see.
Dude, so sorry it took you so long to come up with those 34 doors.
I'm working on 41 right now. I got a 41 and a medical center, so we'll see
how did you pick all these things up, dude? Or was this like a portfolio buy, or is it apartment complexes, or what the hell?
The one I'm working on right now is a portfolio. But the other ones, they were just little onesies and
one at a time.
Awesome, little 3, 4, 5, 6 plexes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I bought off of wholesalers too. It's weird.
Yeah.
As a wholesaler, I like to buy off of the wholesalers. It's super strange.
Dude, they save you the time.
Don't get high on your own supply. I don't know. I don't want to deal with it. I don't deal with the headache. I got a team to pay, so we wholesale all our stuff. And then as long as the numbers make sense, we'll take it down.
Dude, I don't know why people make fun of wholesaling. That's the most retarded thing ever. I mean, we just wholesaled a little deal. We made $66,000. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a wholesaler.
This little layup, you know?
Just a little something that keeps the groceries in the fridge, you know?
Cash injection. That's all they are. We just did one sight unseen, had a hoarder, that pulled a gun on the owner, little old lady. Yeah, I think it was her brother. Anyways, he was a squatter by all rights, but he said, yeah, I can't go over there. He pulled a gun on me. He's got homeless people living in the house. Cool. We never went and saw it. Sold it. Made 38 grand. She's happy. We're happy. Look, I didn't have to deal with that. The buyer does, though. He gives me updates all the time on that eviction process.
Dude, that's why do the tenants always want to kill the owner? Like we had one that we actually had to buy inside of a trust because the guy that was on the property tried to kill the guy that sold it to us. So we're like, okay, we don't want our name to be on anything. So we did that one as like under the table. Well, not under the table, when everything went legally, but
as anonymous as possible.
As anonymous as possible, bro. That was a weird one. Yeah, I was like, we don't want to get killed by this, dude. We're just trying to make some profit, bro. I think we walked out.
Get paid, brother. I'm not trying to get shot.
I think we did almost 100 on that one. We had to split it 3 ways. So
damn.
Again, woe is me. Woe is the life of a lowly wholesaler.
Problems.
Yeah.
One thing about Texas is that Anthony always makes a joke. Like when you fly into Texas, Anthony's like, I'm going to give you a truck, a gun, and a Bible. So yeah,
I got a car. Off one of the houses we bought.
Yeah,
the old Spitfire, Triumph Spitfire. I think it was like a '69 Triumph Spitfire.
Dang,
it's like a James Bond looking car.
That's cool, man. Were you able to find a title for it, or what'd you do with it?
I just sold it for like $500.
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't run, the engine was missing. I just
a little shell in and out.
I got enough classic trucks as it is.
I'm picking up a little mobile home right now, and that thing is full of stuff, like all the old man stuff still in there, dude. Like rooms, boxes, like you see collectibles, like all kinds of crazy stuff. So we'll probably start cleaning it out this week, but I have no clue what's in there. I mean, we found guns before, video games.
What's that? It's flip gold. That's all it is. It's flip gold. I want that, I want that, and I want that. I got a brand new Samsung oven one time that I didn't know was in there. That went in my house.
I'm straight out.
Yeah.
I really did hit the jackpot on one that we bought. We went in there and it probably had like 100 of those Funko Pops, those little like cartoon character bobbleheads.
Like this?
There he goes. Yeah, dude, it's funny. I was like, holy crap. Yeah, there was guns in there and everything. It's like, all right, cool. Life of an investor. I was listening to a podcast one time. It was a probate podcast. And they said that the old man died. They bought the house like from the estate sale or whatever with everything in the house. The old man died. He had $200 in his bank account. And they said that when they went through the house, they found $9 million in gold bars. I was like,
whoa.
Yeah. I haven't come across that yet, but I'm looking forward to it. You know, so anytime you buy a house, it's packed.
How would you clean those gold bars? Like, how would you be able to spend that?
I mean, you legally bought the dang house, right? So
it's yours, but like,
take them. I mean,
is there capital? There's definitely capital gains on that.
I think we'd figure it out.
Hey, that's
I'll give you a bar of gold for your truck. You good? Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I was saying you put those gold bars on Facebook Marketplace.
cheap fire sale.
Boosted ad.
You're gonna get $1 million. It's worth $9 million. It's fine. 9 times the money.
2 pounds of gold, used condition.
Slightly used.
So, dude, yeah, tell us a little bit about your marketing that you did. You said you got a lot of this stuff from wholesalers. So, were you like going to RIAs? Like, how did you find these deals? How did you let people know you were going after them? And how the heck did you fund all those doors?
Man, ever since the beginning, I market now, but I wasn't marketing at the beginning. I was just telling everyone, every way I could, because I didn't have money, right? Going to all the RIAs, telling every single person I bump into, hey, I buy real estate. Hey, I buy real estate. Speaking to assistants, speak it. Eventually, they started bringing me deals. Some contractors, hey, I know a guy who knows a guy, kind of thing, and then you lock up $15,000 off of one of those, and it starts working out. But now we do a lot of different marketing. But I've always been a big fan. Corey talks about this all the time, but I've always been big on inbound marketing. Mm-hmm. I like the texting. I like it, but I'm more of a fan of like, they're calling me there. It's already figured out. Like, they're calling me for a reason. They know with a deal. There's no, why'd you call me? Blah, blah, blah. It's mail, internet leads, whatever it is. They already have the idea. We're talking about property. Yes or no. You know what I mean? But that's what I've been doing. And like with the RIAs, I've kind of Well, I have El Paso's. It's literally called El Paso's, the Facebook group. El Paso's #1 real estate investing network. And
It's your group?
yeah, it's mine. It was the biggest one. I think there's a bigger one now, but I don't know. Anyways, it's the most influential one in the city, in the area, and we host a big RIA every quarter. We normally have a few hundred people show up. It's always a good time, but really like the who's who show up, and the more people you know, the more opportunities you get. That's why I've been doing everything I can ever since day one is recording. Every time I do a flip, I do some silly ass live one. Who cares? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm awkward. I don't know where buttons are, but I'm proving to everybody that I actually do this. I'm not full of shit.
Have you ever danced for a TikTok?
No. My contractors have though.
Oh,
Jerry has. He's in one of my last videos on TikTok. He's in there dancing.
I guess
Me and Anthony always make a joke about like, hey, we're building an audience on TikTok without having to dance.
There you go.
Hey, if I see you dancing, if I see you
dance.
like that guy Kung, once I see you start doing those dances, I'll know you made it.
Dude, have you seen him? He's been doing a lot of lives. He's on TikTok live almost all day.
Yeah.
He's doing like you post your phone number, he'll call you and he'll run through like a role playing scenario. It's pretty cool.
That's dope, man.
I
Yeah, the
haven't
guy's
done it yet, but I've been watching him. It's cool.
he's moving quick, man. The guy's moving quick. He's on social.
He's exciting to watch. That's the biggest part. He's exciting to watch.
Yeah, he talks loud. His voice is kind of funny. He sounds real cool. Sounds like,
Moni.
he's real energetic, and he's a shit talker. Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
So if you see us dancing on TikTok, you know why. Like, oh, I guess they made it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I want to ask you about a deal you did early on because it's from a mutual friend of ours, Mr. Charles. Can you tell us about that deal?
Oh.
See?
Uncle Charles?
Uncle Charles.
Yeah. So my first sub-2 deal. So I just drove by there a couple days ago. All right. So I was really wanting to learn sub-2, and I started asking Michael and Charles, well, really just Charles. He kept giving me. I couldn't get his buy box. I couldn't figure it out because they were still kind of tight with it. You know, they weren't really actively coaching yet as much as I could see, but they hadn't bought outside of San Antonio. So eventually, after like how many? I don't know if he's watching right now, but I probably sent him 40. Well, somewhere between 20 and 40. Like, hey, what do you think about this one? What do you think about? And eventually, I found one that worked, and. Shit. We figured it out. The numbers made sense. There was no reinstatement. They were caught up on the payments. There was a shitload of equity. I helped manage the rehab, and I made like $6,000. And he just sold it for a shitload of money. He was bragging about it. And I sold him. I ended up selling them like 8 back to back. Fantastic deals. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, I just fell into a bunch of sub-2s. But that was one of the best ones in terms of jettisoning my ability in closing creative finance deals. And that's a huge shout out to Charles. I appreciate you, man. So I still want to be part of the alliance. Throw me in there. $100,000.
So one thing I think is funny about, I'm really glad you brought this up, and I'm glad I asked you about this question because one thing is like people they're afraid to like give away their best deals, but if you don't know how to do the deal, the best way to learn is by giving it away.
I didn't give anything away. I got what I could out of something that I had no idea what I was doing.
Exactly.
Looking back, did I miss out? No, but I mean technically, if I had already known, then yeah, of course I would have bought all of them. But I didn't know. I was a rookie, and they walked me through it, and I got to deal with all the nonsense. I got to learn how to do roof claims and do all that stuff, and I don't regret it for a second.
Yeah,
they made off that little stretch right there because I don't sell them sub-2s anymore because I buy them. But for a good stretch there, they bought a bunch of them, and it really helped me refine on I know exactly what I'm doing now when it comes to those, and I never change it. Yeah, you gotta let everybody eat off the deal if you can. I mean, if you're not good at it and without their help, it wouldn't close, then why be stingy?
Yeah, man. I think that's really the way to learn, honestly. I have quite a few people that hit me up and they're like, "Hey man, do you have any kind of like training material? Do you have anything else?" I'm like, "Nope. Let's do some deals and then you'll learn." That's the only way yeah. So I let go of some deals. Looking back now, it's like you can't look backwards and count the money. But yeah, I think we passed up on somewhere between 500 and 600 in my first couple of years just for me not knowing how to close those deals. And it's cool with it. That's the price you pay. So now I don't feel so bad when somebody brings me a deal. I'm like, "Oh, cool. I'm gonna make 100 on this." Like, I paid my dues, bruh.
And with that, though, I agree with you. They should bring something to the table, whether it be a deal or something.
Mm-hmm.
And for the longest time, I was teaching people. I was helping people. I'd get on the call with them. "Hey, can I pick your brain?" Anybody who's listening to this, don't ever say that again. Anybody, it always, "Hey, let me just pick your brain." But like, you take them to somewhere and like, let's go get coffee. It's fine. We can do something else. But like you get on a call with them for an hour, you spend so much time dealing with those, teach them everything you can, a potentially life-changing hour of information, and then they ask you the same question again in a few days, or they just don't do anything with it. So the tire kicker of sorts. I saw something the other day. It was an ask hole. An ask hole. They would ask you, you'd answer it, and they wouldn't do anything with that information.
Or you see him posting the same question in another group. I just answered that for 45 minutes, bro.
Talked about it. Yeah, but like, what if they said something different? Yeah. But so what I did is I made the REI think tank. So it's a coaching group. We meet every week on Zoom, and we charge $97 a month, and it's not a rah-rah group. I'm not going to show you. We don't show you 101. We don't show you step one. I can present you all the materials. You can go out all the places to get all the proper information. We do actual coaching. So, hey, you bring stuff that you're doing to the table. I need to see what I should do with this, what I should do with that. Then, yeah, it'd be super beneficial. But if you're needing to learn like 101, you'll learn from the community. But if you're not actually out like actively learning on your own or doing things, then it's not the group for you. But if you are a hustler and you're out there actually doing stuff, it's most people in there who actually take it seriously have gotten a lot of rentals. One of my favorite students, he's my first student before it is even a thing. He a year ago came on. Oh, he did some work for me because he kind of liked what we were doing, what I was doing. He's about the same age as me. He wanted to start getting some rentals, and he just bought. He had nothing. He's a contractor, and all I did was change his mindset, the ability to offer on things, the way to evaluate stuff. And he's now on his fourth rental. 2 of them are Airbnbs, 2 are long-term, and then he just bought a small ranch also. So he's wheeling the deal, man. So I guess that's going to turn into his 5th rental, the house that he lives in right now.
How long has he
been? But that's all in a year. And I asked him, I said, "Dude, did you fall into some money? Did you get a big raise? Like, did you do a big job?" He says, "No, man, I just, know how to talk to people now." One of them, the ranch he bought, he got owner finance, 0 down, like 2% interest. Said to offer him, because fuck it, why not? There's a balloon on there eventually, but who cares, in the meantime.
Yeah, 0 down, I'll take it all day.
Oh yeah, I love offering that. Or don't ever talk about the down payment. I don't know. There's a lot of key things that we discuss in the group all the time about. It's primarily we talk about fine-tuning how to speak to sellers. That's one of the biggest topics we cover. But yeah, that's why I got it, and it's not a huge payment. It's just something to keep the tire kicker out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, keep the ass holes away.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to waste their time, and I really prefer if they didn't waste my time too.
That's the thing, man. Yeah, because you only have so many hours in a day, and it's like, man, like I really needed that hour, and now you're over here like asking it in a different group. Hey, Daniel, can you pop up that link real quick again, so that way if anybody wants to join the think tank, whether they're in El Paso or not, they can join. Do they have to be local?
No, it's we do it on Zoom. We do it on Zoom. We have a little community on Facebook, and we meet Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. So if you guys join, we'll figure it out. We'll go from there.
Okay, so now let me ask you this, man. So how are we funding all these deals? So I join your group, I learn how to go after it and get it. Now I need some money. What do I do next?
So it depends on depends how we do it. If we JV on the deal, I'll figure that out, whether it's hard money, whether it's me funding it personally, and which I don't really like to do, but I like to utilize my private lenders who love the opportunities. just crazy returns sometimes. But I don't ever ask anybody for this. That's a big part of it too, is I try to get everybody to kind of break through is when I say, go find money. They're like, I don't want to ask anybody for a loan. You're not asking me for a loan. You're offering them an opportunity to make way better rates of return than you're ever getting anywhere else. 12. I just got a loan for 20% return. And it made sense for me here, But yeah, so we either do that, we use our private lenders, or whatever we got to do. Or maybe we do creative finance. We've turned several wholesales into creative finance, into owner finance deals.
Beautiful, man. Yes, we're doing a lot of that right now too. I think if you have an inability to raise capital or to come up with it, you might struggle in real estate. Once you get good at raising that capital and you get good at negotiating seller finance, now you have a perfect storm here.
The best way to get people to do it is to put everything you can. Again, I said this would put everything you can about what you're doing. Live action shots. It creates an authority automatically. So then one other thing I can do where I started getting my first sets of private money is go on Bigger Pockets, go on the blog, and post every single deal you've ever done with the correct information. And it just shows, because there's a lot of people in there. There's a lot of people. And that's how I got my first 3-4 lenders.
That's in what, Bigger Pockets website or what?
Bigger Pockets, yeah. They have a blog in the back end, and you can post, you make your account and you can post all the deals in detail, wholesale, flip, blah, 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 blah. Here's all this stuff we went through to get it and whatever. And it just shows, it's just a track record. And
right there,
I get on there maybe once a year, and I should get on there way more. But every time I get on there, I got a bunch of messages. And the last time I got in there, it was like 8 months ago. This guy sent you a message, and he's like, "Hey man, I've been looking you up, trying to get into real estate, but I don't want to do anything. So can we meet?" And we met at Cornerstone Bakery for like 15 minutes. He wired me $100,000, and it's been just smooth sailing. I mean, it's just been smooth sailing with that ever since.
For everybody listening, that was a gem that we're going to do in an hour from now.
Hey, I was going to rewind that real quick so I can hear it again. And then we're going to get, as soon as we get off of this, me and Danny are going to be like.
Yeah. Let me package that into the deal.
Yeah, I went and met with a doctor up in Dallas, and he was interested in investing with us with land. And he's like, well, I'm comfortable at about 100. After we met, I called him and I was like, hey, can you do 140? I'll do 140. Yeah. All right. I like this guy.
One of my biggest JV partners here. He's in real estate. He's been in real estate, but he doesn't have time to. He's a big property manager. What his issue was that he's too slow to react to things. He likes to overthink. Yeah. And I don't. So it's a great pair. But I was wholesaling him stuff, and he's like, I don't have time to deal with all this stuff, man. So can you partner on it with me? You deal with everything, and I'll pay for everything, and we'll just. Perfect. Yeah. So that's how we got a lot of the rest too. But he was worried because, and this is something for people to think about, to talk to the right people, is he was getting so many clients, big clients, that it was outweighing his own portfolio. So, and he was having to expand his company because of it. So it's putting him into a leveraged position, a vulnerable position. So if one of them left him with their portfolio, he'd have to make some major changes, major cuts. But if he can build up his portfolio even bigger in the meantime, he did the same thing. We're supposed to do like 2 deals, maybe $250,000. We got like $2 million out now. And it's just, we're just waiting to burr a lot of it back in. And it's funny when people, they'll say something and then, oh, look, we got way more than that, But yeah, just being an asset to people, I think is massive, and showing that you actually know what you're doing. Because otherwise they won't take you seriously. If they can't look you up, and if they can't Google you and see that you've done things, they're not going to take you seriously.
Chad said Google him.
I don't know. Can you Google me?
See what comes up.
I'm right there. And some other guys. We're all white, though. We're all a bunch of white guys. I am on there the most, though. So that's good. Yeah. But anyways.
No, me and Anthony talk about this all the time, and like it's kind of facetious, but being Googleable is priceless because you don't know what leverage you can use that in different types of transactions. So we had Ryan Pineda on last week, and he was talking about how he leveraged his influence to buy a deal discounted, and then he pushed the deal up where he created equity just by pushing it out through his audience.
Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, leverage what you got. Why not?
Yeah, I've had a couple times now where sellers like, well, how do I know you guys? You know, kind of like where they're just like still struggling with that trust factor. I'm like, I don't know, go look me up. I got 1,300 YouTube videos, and you can find me on Google pretty easy. And sure enough, man, the guy messages back like, you know, probably 10 days later. He's like, okay, I'm ready to move forward.
I watched all your videos. I might know more than you know. So
I don't know what he found, but he liked it. He's like, okay, I like these guys. I'll do the deal. So that's pretty cool. And I thought it might be the opposite, right? If he goes and if they find the content and like, oh, these guys are wholesaling, they're just manipulating the numbers. I don't know what the heck I thought they might find. But no, they go and they look us up and they're like, okay, yeah, I'm going to do the deal with you. I guess they see you're public facing. The doctor, he researched us pretty good. He goes, yeah, man, I've seen a bunch of your videos now. He goes, like, you have this channel where you look like you guys are like on CNN or something.
Yeah.
He liked the videos and the podcast.
That first guy that lent me money, he looked me up pretty good too. He's a U.S. Marshal that travels and hunts gang members down. So he kind of scary dude. Kind of intimidating person, but I'm gonna make sure that deal got done right. You know, actually, I ended up working that deal because it ended up not going right. That first one, so I was up there every day.
You had to jump in and make it happen.
To Cruces, driving an hour to Cruces to go work all day, to come back to the. It was nuts, but I got the deal done. You know, he still profited a bunch, but yeah, it's
You're doing stuff in New Mexico too, because I know South Cruces is
yeah.
road.
I own property in Louisiana. I own property in Texas. I own property in New Mexico. I have one property in Louisiana. I got one sub 2 in Shreveport. It's a one-off. It worked. I mean, I'm happy with it. A ton of equity. Didn't pay much for it. Cash flow is like $700.
We've got property in Texas, Arizona, and I just got a lead on a 7-acre a 7-door in Miami, and I want a place for myself there, so that way I can go over there and live there for
in Miami.
Yeah,
I mean, I think we all do.
Dude, $1 million seller financed, 10%. Hey. Yeah, I think I'm gonna jump on that one. Yeah, we want our own place there, so because we love it over there, like Fort Lauderdale and all that. I've only been there twice now, right? This last event, but I just love it down there. It's freaking amazing, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, the beaches here, like I love my Texas beaches, but when you go over there, you're like, dang, this is what the beach is.
Dirty. It's like golf. It's all good.
It's the best we got, bro.
Yeah, it is. Do either of you have Airbnbs?
Well, technically that we're Airbnb out the office, or we're intending to. We just haven't really tended to it too much, but no, not really.
Because I'm buying my first sub 2 into an Airbnb. What is it? Thursday. So with the complete intention of doing that. So I don't know. I've never done it.
Where is it?
Right down the street. Here. It's here. Okay. It's over by the base. Kind of by the airport. So it's a perfect spot. It's got a great view of the mountain, but it's I don't know. Should be pretty good. Hopefully, we'll see. Let my wife do that.
I've heard that Airbnbs by military bases, that kind of stuff. Those are always good to go because people are always coming in and going out temporary orders.
Families come in, people come in. They don't have space to house them. Whatever.
You want to stay in a hotel? Like we hate staying in hotels when we travel. It's like you can't have 5 people in a freaking a 2-unit or whatever, a 2-bed, 1 bathroom. Like, ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, either one of you but you both have big families. How many kids you got?
I got 3.
You had to count.
No, not that one.
That was not.
Yeah, he's got little kids, man. My kids are well, not that I'm very tall, but still, man.
That's funny.
It doesn't work anymore, bro.
They're all right on par with.
Yeah, dude. No more room for them anymore in those little tiny 2 beds anymore. Can't do it. So yeah, Airbnb is super important. Families traveling, that kind of stuff. It's just absolutely a necessity now.
And then I got another sub 2 that I've had it for two almost 3 years, and it's finally getting the tenant. There's like a 2.5-year lease with military, and they're about to leave, and it's a even better house. So I'm like, I might as well Airbnb that bitch too. So I'll have 2 in like a month. So I don't even know. I've never done one, but we'll see. I know the right people to kind of hopefully help me through this, but it'll be fun. It'll be a nice journey.
No, I agree, man. Anytime we're seeing something sub 2 now, we're looking more at hanging on to those more so than wholesaling them. It's just like no brainer. Yeah, I would like to find some in my area.
I've done, I think I took count the other day, I think 42 sub 2s. And it sounds great. I made a mistake for the whole time. Okay. I kept selling them because of fucking, so the wholesaling's fine. Okay. I get that at the beginning. But then there's the ones I would like flip. Stupid. They'd be modified loans. I'd flip it. I wouldn't realize the equity share and I'd lose money. Fantastic. There was just so many. And I'm like, if I had just kept it, the payment's like $500. A couple years ago, the payment's like $500-$600, and it could rent for now $1,500-$1,600, or Airbnb for $5,000 a month. I don't know. I don't sell them anymore. I keep them. I don't care. I have 1, 2, 3. I have 4 that I still have, or that I keep. I hold on to, but that's the only, in terms of single family houses, that's the only way I'll keep them is sub 2. I don't like single family rentals otherwise.
Do you think they're going to flood the market right now with sub 2s? Tell us that's a great question actually that I wanted to bring up on this call right now. Where do you think the market's headed, bro? I know nobody has the crystal ball, but what are you thinking and how are you preparing for it?
So I've only been in for not a long time. I haven't been through recession, so take my advice with a grain of salt. But
me neither.
With I don't know, man. I think it's gonna just kind of stay the same. I think it's gonna stay stagnant for a little bit. It'll come down maybe 10%. I think. But sub 2s in terms of the banks have a ton of pre-foreclosures. The notes they'll sell off right now. There's a ton of them. They're over leveraged. But it just depends on how the banks handle that. See, because you should contact the bank and try and buy their notes if you have access to money. Buy the whole what was the word?
Tape.
What was the word? Not
tape. Tranche.
Tape. Thank you. Buy the whole tape. I was talking to somebody earlier about that. Buy their whole tape. It'll cost you a lot, but you get a huge discount. I just learned about that.
Quote from a bank?
Notes.
Oh, okay.
All their non-performing notes. Just buy all of them at once because there's a bunch of them right now. And different areas are a little bit different, but some areas are golden right now.
What do you think? There's not going to be too much pullback, just a little bit of price, the housing drop, right? With they keep on manipulating the interest rates, but why do you feel like there's not going to be like any kind of low or any kind of crash or anything?
I mean, even 10% is a crash.
Yeah,
10% is a crash. It's not going to like houses aren't going to melt. Like, people still need a place to live. Rents do go down, so you might see that happen because who knows? But I mean, who knows where it's going? I don't know. I don't have an opinion. I think it'll go down a little bit, but I think it'll remain pretty close to where it is, as long as the rates don't keep going up. But as far as sub 2s, I think that there is a group out there right now that is preempting and excuse my French, but fucking this up for everybody right now. So I'm getting sent stuff all the time that it's clearly like that group's. I got sent one today. And I got a little mad when I saw it because it's a great deal. It would have been a great deal if it hadn't been, spoken. So it's like 170 grand is still owed. The payment's like $1,300, and the ARV is 220, and they're like 60 grand down. What do you mean? Like what? Like, why would I pay that and maybe make $100 a month? Maybe after paying everything. Oh no, it's because you're buying that 4% interest. Dude, you're nuts. Like, so I'll give you 8. That's normally what we pay, 8 to 10 at most, out of pocket, because you got to fix it and everything. But I don't know. The sub 2s, the ones I've been getting sent by agents or the sub 2 community, they're always weird. They're always too many variables have been put into place. What they did is they went to the seller and they flexed their knowledge instead of shutting up and just saying, I can take over your payments. We'll do this and we'll do this and we'll do this down payment. We'll do sub 3 and all kind of shit. Like, overcomplicating it, making a deal into something that's just a waste of time.
Yeah, if we get those every day. Somebody, right when we were jumping on this call, somebody sent me a deal by Dallas, and it was almost 700,000 an acre. I'm like,
Ooh,
the heck?
that's prime time.
Does that include the apartment complex next door? Like, golly, that's
Mhm.
crazy, dude. Like, whatever. I think when too many people get their hands into too many deals, by the time you get it, we talked to a guy yesterday, 500 acres in the valley.
Yesterday's call was crazy.
What's that?
Yesterday's call was crazy.
500 acres in the valley for 50,000 an acre, dude, with no sewer. I mean, it was like,
Is that a lot?
yeah.
Okay.
What are you gonna do with this, man? You buy that size of tract. I mean, golly, it needs $20 million worth of development right before you can throw up buildings. He's giving me comps based off of like apartment complexes and buildings, and I'm like, that's not comps, bro. It's land. Yeah, it's not development ready. You know, you
But
see
pro forma. You got to buy it based on what it could be. It has potential to be this, so I'm going to charge you this much.
that's what he was pitching us yesterday. Like, you could do an airport here. No, he didn't say that. But
Do an airport. Yeah. Let's raise the price then.
The craziest part of what he said is that the city was going to put in the sewer, the curb, the street, and all that stuff because it's the city's job.
Oh,
yeah, this guy
fair
doesn't know.
enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay.
I said, okay,
Get the city out here.
do you guys have approvals for all this stuff already? He goes, no, it's just verbal. I'm like, that's not helpful.
Who did you talk to? Myself. Oh,
Yeah. It was
great.
hearsay. Yeah, they said, like, okay, dude, whatever. It's funny.
That's wild. That's kind of why. I mean, I haven't messed with big tracts of land. I've wanted to. You guys have made me want to, but the little bits of land that I've messed with in the past, I always either broke even or made like $500 or something. It was never worth the time. Like I got an acre. My first year, I got an acre, and I was for like $8,000. I was like, yeah, hell yeah, and I bought it because I couldn't wholesale it, so I bought it because I knew what I was doing, and I ended up selling it for like $9,000, and there was cost, and I lost money. I didn't lose a lot, but like that was my first taste of land. I was like, I'm done with this, you know. That's enough for me,
Dude,
I'm telling you, that was within like the first 6 months of doing this. I don't know.
we have the opposite thing. Like, somebody sends me a house, and they're like, this is the greatest deal ever. And he'll delete. I'm not even looking at the numbers to see if it's a good deal.
Unsubscribe. Spam, please.
Yeah, I'm not even trying to run the numbers. Like, it looks like there's $100,000 spread in there. Like, yep, not getting myself down that rabbit hole again. I come from contracting. I've been a contractor for freaking 20 years plus. I'm just not just gonna do any more contracting anymore.
$7,000, bro. It's just $7,000.
What was it, infill lot? Or you said it was an acre?
Rent ready? It's $7,000. There's a hole in the roof. Hey, $7,000. I can see outside. That's like $7,500 tops. You're in and out.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. And then they argue with you, and it's like, come on. It's your first deal. Like, don't argue with me.
That's another thing. She was like, yeah, if you want to get mentored by somebody, just come with a real offer. You know how I got in good with everybody, like Ryan and Logan and all those guys? I just showed up with a deal, and they're like, how much do you want for this? I'm like, I don't know. It's whatever. Give me 2 cheeseburgers and teach me how to play the game. We'll call it even. Yeah. So now, Ryan, we talk almost every single day. Like, he still walks me through a lot of stuff. So super interesting.
I love Ryan and Logan. I talk to Ryan all the time. I call him every homie.
Dude, if that guy takes my call and walks me through anything, I'll send him like $1,000 just for like 5 minutes. Like, okay, that's all I needed. Thank you, bro. I had a deal that was blowing up in contracts. The people were getting ready to leave. They were like, no, we found this little provision or whatever. And I don't know. I said, Ryan, dude, can you work on this for me, man? I got a deal blowing up in contracts right now. So that's closing today, like right now. He's like, hey, I was just getting home with dinner. He's like, I'll call you in 5 minutes. So he called me back, walked me through everything. I'm like, dude, boom, done. Send him $2,500 for like 10 minutes worth of work. Save the deal, man.
You ever get consulting from Jaime?
Yeah. Jaime stayed on the phone with me one time for 3 hours, dude, while I was trying to figure out a deal. And I was like, dude, can I get your cash app real quick? He's like, oh, cool. Yeah, sure. It's like $500, dude. Yeah. 3 hours. I just wanted like 10 minutes.
Well, I don't have any here, but he made me buy a bunch of books.
And he put me on a lot of game, bro. Yeah, Jaime Farias. Shout out to Jaime. Shout out to Corey, Logan, Ryan. Who else did we mention on this podcast? Talked about Mike and Charles. They took me into the office before I did anything, dude. HBHS. Before I even did my first deal, they took me in and they just hours and hours of game for nothing. Not even like, thank you. Like, God,
they came up here. Charles, I'm gonna tell the story, Charles. I don't care. I'm gonna tell it. So Charles, when he came up here to check that one property, he said, "Hey, pick me up at the airport." Right. So I'm like, "Cool, no problem." That's what you normally do, right? You pick somebody up at the airport.
Yeah.
Hey, you didn't
fly
to the airport?
He didn't fly. Well, you just appeared. You're like, "I'm at the Airbnb." But he's like, "Hey, pick me up at the airport. That way you can take me over here real quick." Cool, no doubt. So I pick him up. He's wearing like basketball shorts and stuff. I was like, "Cool, man. I guess like super comfortable, whatever." Turns out he didn't tell me this till like a year later. I guess he said he was embarrassed, but he rode the Greyhound bus from San Antonio, not because he had to, but because he was like, I used to do this all the time. Let's see what this is like. And he flew back, obviously, but yeah, he said he saw some crazy. I don't remember all the details, but he saw some crazy stuff on that bus. Some crazy people doing some crazy stuff. But he rode that bus, but played it off. He got an Uber to the airport for me to pick him up at the airport to play it off like he didn't just ride the bus for like 14 hours.
Whoa.
It was nuts. A year later, I was like, dude, what? Why didn't you just say that? Like, what? But he came out here. Yeah, him and Mike, they've been out here a bunch of times for our RIA. Oh yeah, like I said, I said that already. I have the RIA. We do it every quarter out here. I'm hoping to have it as big as maybe Donnie's or like which one did I just go to? Donovan Ruffins. That's where I got the idea. I went to his first event. It was huge. He had like 3,000 people there. But I just spoke at TJ's the real estate event. I think it's a very similar name. I spoke at his a couple weeks ago. I loved it. If you guys are in the Dallas area, you should definitely go to TJ's events. TJ Cozen. Shout out to TJ. But him and his events out there they're great. I love how it's separated completely. So you got one side with actual speakers, and it's completely separated. And the other side, you have your vendors and your alcohol and people that they don't really want to be on stage. They are being on stage. They can just mingle. I love that. I love the separation. Then they buy you the drinks. Mine's the same way. We cover everybody's drinks. The reason I do that on mine is because I want the day one guy to be able to go see. Let's say I brought out Anthony, which, by the way, Anthony, most of my students fell in love with you. Oh, they're like, that's the richest guy in the room. Mike specifically fell in love with you, but he wanted. But yeah, I buy drinks that way, like a day one or first year person, and they see somebody who owns like half of downtown, or they see him on social media all the time. They see him doing whatever. They have the courage. Like normally, they wouldn't have the courage. Maybe they're shy. But you get 2 shots of tequila in them. Hey, what's up, man? I want to talk to you. You know, you make that connection.
Social lubricant.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly why I do it.
That's cool, man.
It's been a lot of fun. All of them have been so much fun.
I told Anthony he should start like a quarterly RIA too. And he start at the office.
It's fucking fun. I need more parking, but yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I'm anti-appointment. Like even this appointment, right? I'm freaking an hour late. I'm like, because my niece randomly comes into town. I didn't get to see her last time. I'm like, dude, can we push an hour? What do you got going on? Going Peter Piper with my niece. Can we push back?
You're Peter Piper right now?
No, that's where I was right before I got.
Sitting in the restroom with your background. I'm Peter Piper.
That's where you're getting all that echo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, yeah, but I like being appointment free because if I have, it's all like these little things, like little podcasts, and then like I can't be spontaneous. Like I'm gonna go show a property tomorrow at 11 for a ranch that I'm selling, and the lady asked me today. She's like, "Oh, do you think you could pick me up? My son can't make it." I'm like, "I guess, right?" Okay. So I got to be able to have my schedule a little bit more fluid. So I have the RIA and I have these and I have those. I'm just going from meeting to meeting to meeting, and yeah, I'm not down with that. Like the reason I got into entrepreneurship is so I don't have to be anywhere at any given time. So I don't have to have a job.
It's like a party, and it's in the evening, so I think you'll be all right.
Possibly.
You'll be fine. Do it.
I need to stick to chocolate.
The Hive Mind Social. This Hive Mind Social. The social Hive Mind.
Social.
The social Hive.
Hive Social. Hive Social.
No, not Hive Social. Hive Social.
I was like, no.
Nothing. Hive Social. I don't know, quarterly. You don't do it monthly. You don't do it monthly because it gets old.
Definitely not.
Less people show up. It's not as fun.
Mm-hmm.
But quarterly, I say quarterly. I do it 3 times a year, consistently, because I just forget. I'm the same way as you. I'll just throw. I'm like, January. What day? Fuck, I don't know. Somebody tell me. Second Friday. I don't know. Yeah, that works. Cool.
If it's booked way in advance, it's good. Like we're going to Vegas to go meet up for Ryan Pineda's boardroom. It's like I think it's like the second week of Vegas. You should come. But it's like if it's booked out months in advance.
Yeah. When is it?
Second week of January. Tight.
What?
Tell me you can make it, bro.
You said at the same time. What day?
January 9th to the 12th. Tykes in Vegas. Tykes event.
Send me deets. Give me a ticket.
Let's go.
Give me a ticket for the plane. Give me a ticket for no, send me the deets. I'll take a look at it.
Let's go, man. That'll be fun.
So, we always ask this quote, but what is the quote that is yours or somebody else's that you resonate with?
There was a good one. Fuck. There's a bunch of Grant Cardone shit.
I know. I have a bunch of them stuck in my head.
I have a bunch of them. There's a great one that I just had. Well, there's another one is If You're Not First, You're Last by Rick Bobby. And I kind of stand by that one pretty strong.
I like that one a lot. Like I'm not trying to compete with anybody. I'm trying to destroy everything. Yeah.
I'm just trying to streamline in front of everybody. I don't compete.
It's funny too because I don't have like any numerical goals, like any door goals or like monthly capital goals or nothing like that. I just want to just win. I just want to be the leader. I want to be out in front, very far out in front.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's
wild. Same here. But yeah, I keep hitting. Like I'll make the goals. I'll make stupid fucking goals, and I'm like, oh, I already did it. Okay, I guess I'll just make it bigger. Cool.
Corey asked one time on his page, I want to say it was like my first year in real estate. Shout out Roughneck Real Estate, Corey Thompson. He asked in his group, like, what is your real estate goal or something like that? And everybody's like, I want 100 doors. I want 300 doors. I want all this crap. I jumped in there and I was like, I kind of don't have any numerical goals like that. I said, but if I had to pick something, I'll say like, I want 1,000 acres, I guess. Yeah, that sounds like a good goal. Randomly. Fast forward, almost 4 years later, we have almost 1,000 acres under contract. We don't own all of it, but still, we're playing in the realm now. So pretty cool. And I think from here, it only goes up, right? We have a lot more stuff we're coming up in the pipeline, deals we're putting together. We had 1,000 acres under contract earlier this year on a deal that did not go through. We chose not to pursue it.
Where? Like that's so many.
Cotulla. So
state. Just tell me state.
Far south. Yeah, far south. But it was
Texas?
Yeah.
Oh, I never heard of Cotulla.
Yeah, super. It's like 2.5 hours south of San Antonio. But it was going to be a partition suit between a girl and her dad. Her dad was going to fight like hell for it. So we'll just move on to something easier. But a super cheap price. But still, it's like just to even be playing in that realm. So if we're going to count numbers, I guess we can. But yeah, I'm just going as fast as I can. I'm not resting. I'm not getting tired. I'm not making stupid moves. But we're going as fast as we possibly can. And like I said, there's kind of no goal. I just want to win. Whenever some guru pulls up
whenever vision boards and stuff, I'm for it for some people. For me, I had a goal. I set a goal. I did do that, but I don't think they really work for me, but people like me, Anthony. Like I had a goal this year for 10 rentals, right? And I'm at over 30 now. It's like
destroyed it.
I don't know. I found something, but like let's say I did hit it, and I'm like, well, I'm done for the year now. I did it. Now I can focus on everything else. Well, I don't want to do that.
It's like we could push it now to like we wanted to do $100,000 months, then we want to do $100,000 deal. Now we're looking at $1 million deal. Now I want to do $1 million month. Like we're just pushing.
I saw somewhere where it was to be truly free. Like there's rich, there's super rich, super whatever, but to be like free, you need I think it's like $40,000 a month passive to like where you don't do anything. So that's kind of my new goal. Right now, it's just that, So you literally do it like you personally, not your company. You need to make that much. That's nuts. That's a great goal, I feel like. And then my guru at the same time, not my guru, but my mentor, he's shout out to Preston Brown out here. He's telling me the other day, he's like, yeah, I just gotta because he's got a bunch of companies, but his main one changed his pay. he gave him a raise because he's not involved, but they gave him a raise, and it's a very impressive number. He's like, yeah, I do whatever I want now. Passive, like true passive. Just on like W-2 wise, so he's lendable.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, without going too much into his business, but cool. Yeah, this was fun.
So where can people find you online? I know we mentioned a couple places. We got Ghetto Buys Houses.
Güero. How did you mispronounce that, bro?
Güero Buys Houses on Twitter. I don't do anything on there, but Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So
hey, prediction right now. I'm going to follow you on Twitter. Twitter goes to the very, very front of all apps, including everything. This is me calling it right now, seeing the future.
Think so?
Twitter becomes the most used app on the internet, and it becomes the world's largest payment processor, outpacing Chase, all these guys, Wells Fargo.
That's the man in charge. I mean, they could do it.
He's going to smoke everybody. Just right now, I think building a following on Twitter, advertising on Twitter, even buying stock in Twitter it's gonna absolutely explode. Yeah, it's gonna go straight to the moon. I don't even know what's
buy stock in Twitter. I thought he made it private.
It's private. They can't buy stock anymore.
Okay, but buying stock means building an audience, right? So today is November 29th of 2022. Just mark my words right now. That sucker's gonna blow, dude. I'm excited about it. Like my heart's pumping fast just thinking about it. Yeah, that dude's gonna move down. So. I want to get way in front.
Everybody's worried about a guy, about him ruining Twitter, whereas this guy made one of the first online banking systems. He makes digital cars. He sends stuff to space regularly, and satellites, all kinds of stuff. He provides the entire world with internet, and they're worried about him messing up a meme posting site. Okay, I think he'll be all right.
Me and Anthony were laughing at him because like he went into the office and everybody's just standing around like, what do you guys do? Like, we do you're fine. Just get out.
Yeah. And if they didn't have a clear answer of what they do there, he fired them.
Good. Yeah, that's the story. His funny story of how he fired everybody. Yeah, that's a really funny story. He's walking around. Dude,
we just talked about
that. Saw them, they weren't doing anything. I said, what do you do? They didn't have an answer. So, all right, cool. You're fired. Haha.
We just talked about cleaning house right before this call, right? I mean, sometimes you got to get out the broom and clean up a little bit, bro. It's business. Man. Yeah,
you got to cut the dead weight.
Especially if you're in a business, you just bought a $40 billion company that's crashing into the ground. Like, you guys got to leave. Yeah, I need to fix this real quick. Well, cool, man. Yeah, we appreciate you coming on here. We still have our feelings a little bit hurt that it took you so long to get here, but
I made it though.
You were just waiting for this.
Yeah. Big promises. Let's see I want to see the tracking number though. Let me see it.
I'll send you a tracking. It looks so cool when it's somewhere and you have it like this. You take a sip, look, bam.
Oh.
That's a really nice freaking cup, dude, and it really does work like a Yeti. Like your stuff's cold all day long. So that goes into the mail today. Okay, I promise.
Sweet. Here's a hoodie. Okay, send me a link so I can buy a hoodie.
You ain't buying nothing, man. You just pick whatever you want and we'll just send it to you.
Hoodie.
Everybody else gotta go buy it. Shop.hivemindcrm.io.
Yeah. Go support your boys if you want to keep on seeing videos like this, meeting great people like Chad Dougherty, killing it out there in the game. Send us some sub twos if you find me one in San Antonio, man. I'm trying to pick one up right now. I'll send you the rest.
Absolutely.
Thanks, bro. Sweet. We appreciate your time, man.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Later, brother. Hey, guys. If you would like to receive hot leads right to your cell phone in a text message, check out hiveleads.io and you can receive the same leads we've been receiving in our campaign for 3.5 years that's made us successful in the land game. Check us out.
The show is sponsored by The List Guys. Do you need more leads in your local or virtual market? 1 in 10 small businesses don't invest in any kind of marketing. The List Guys have over 35 plus list types to choose from, and you can mix and match any list or criteria. We also use the skip trace list and provide up to 7 numbers and email addresses. Every list you purchase will be scrubbed against previous purchases. The List Guys are here to save you time. Contact the List Guys today at www.onelistguys.com. That's www.1listguys.com.
Positioning can be a lot of things, right? Position yourself as an influencer, kind of like what we're doing with this podcast. We have amazing people reaching out to us just because they found us on the podcast, and they're very high-level performers that would like to do business with us.